Okay, what's going on, YouTube? PNG News Media back at you with another edition of Concrete and Steel Chronicles. Now, for a while I've been focused on California, but we were for a real treat tonight. We got a brother from my neck of the woods, my hometown, Chicago. He's gonna give you a little history about how things came up in Chicago in the 90s. So without further ado, I got brother Liam Barksdale, aka Insaine. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, brother. How about yourself?
All right. Now, that name is interesting, Barksdale. By chance, would you be in any relationship to Nathan Barksdale, the character portrayed in The Wire, or the legendary David Barksdale, founder of the Disciple Nation in Chicago?
The second, yes.
Oh yeah, okay. What's your connection to him?
That's my great uncle. That's my mother's uncle. My mother's and my uncle's uncle.
Okay, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. And it's kind of interesting as we learn more about your history, how you came part of a different nation than he did. But so tell me about. So why didn't you come up? Like, what was your area of the city when you growing up?
Well, I grew up in two different areas. Excuse me. I grew up from 51st and Princeton, the 29th and State.
Okay. And then who was the dominant group in there? Chicago was kind of divided up. What organization who kind of dominated that area where you grew up?
Well, I grew up the Mickey Cobras.
Okay. And that's kind of who you gravitated towards?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So give the people who may not be familiar just a little bit of breakdown. Well, first, like, how is things done in Chicago, at least during your era? I know it's a whole totally different story now, but traditionally,
it's completely different.
Yeah, but traditionally, how was it in Chicago as far as the street organizations?
Well, back in our days, it was more organized than it is today. It was more of a desire for your brother what you desire for yourself situation. Until drugs hit and it changed everything, and the greed came out of everybody, and that changed how life was for everybody, for real.
And then like were the gangs, like were the two like explain a little bit about the folk and the people nation, that whole little thing.
Well, I mean, in the short, you have, okay, let me get it to you like this. The Mickey Cobras were the first urban organization in Chicago. And we were founded out on the west side, actually. And later, from multiple times of getting into it with vice lords of all people, when we both under the 5-point star, but in getting into it with the vice lords, we actually went and moved out south and became, not necessarily a big organization, but it was one of the most powerful. Every person in the organization was willing to ride or die with you and stand for whatever it took to get by. And coming up in a city that's overwhelmed with gangster disciples and other gangs, it's just, man, it was unbelievable how we survived. But that goes to show how strong we were at that time. If that makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, the GDs, the BDs, everybody, man, back then it was really strong. It was real. A lot of people was on positivity more than anything. You had those that had their selfish ways and inflicted it on mobs, but for the most part, man, we was really like more so of a I don't want to say a political movement, but it was along those lines. Everybody was trying to find out how to get our peace. Everybody wanted the peace that, you felt you deserved. So that's what really the organizations was put together for, to give the Black communities a piece of what was the so-called pie.
Okay. All right. Now, that name, were they always called Mickey Cobras or they something else before?
Oh, no, we was Egyptian Cobras first.
Okay.
We was Egyptian Cobras. And from the Egyptian Cobras became, we didn't become Mickey's Cobras until after actual founder Mickey Cogwell passed away. And his brother actually named us.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's when we became Mickey's Cobras. We was Egyptian Cobras. We adopted the stone into our name, became Mickey Cobra Stones due
Mhm.
to uh, Mickey and Jeff, getting together and they I don't want to say they shared power, but Jeff opened the door to Mickey and Mickey opened the door to Jeff, and they shared knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And they
Okay.
shared things that were deeper than what the average man put out here, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
they found ways to get the system to work for us, you know what I'm saying? And they did that and worked it out for the communities until they had their own whatever happened with them, you know what I'm saying, that changed it to where we left the stone off our name for the most part. There are still brothers that are Mickey Cobra Stones, and we still respect and honor those brothers, and we still respect and honor the Stones, you know what I'm saying? It's just that over the years there was so much turmoil about people trying to place the Cobras and the Stones against each other, saying that particular people had something to do with Mickey Cogwell dying and things like that. And there's I don't want to say there's no facts, but I'll just say that those things are sometimes just not meant to be put out here like that. And I'll leave that at
Right.
that. But
Okay.
for the most part, we have adopted other names until Mickey Cobra. Even we were Cobra Love, the end of the situation, we was always Cobra, and we was always
Mhm.
trying to live the dream that Mickey had. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. All right. So around what age did you kind of become involved with the whole Mickey Cobra movement?
I was 11. I was 11.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was 11.
All right. And how did that come about? Were you introduced about like a relative, or is just something you just gravitated naturally on your own, or was it just a thing to do in your area?
No, well, and yeah, that's the thing they did in my area. But you got to understand, I grew up in the house with all the folks, but my
Mhm.
neighborhood was MCs, so my
Okay.
friends were MCs, and we just happened to just all be a part of the same thing. We went to the same meetings, we went to the same schools, we went to the same everything, and
Mhm.
when one fought, all fought.
Okay.
We did it all like that. It just what it was.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you out in the street, doing your thing as a Mickey Cobra and all that. Around what time did it started to get troublesome for you? Like, did you ever when was your first arrest behind doing what you was doing?
My first arrest.
Or
Uh,
first major one when you hit the Cook County or something like that?
let's see. That was in 1990. I was
Okay.
actually in 1990. I was in a juvenile, and then I was in Audi home, what we call it. And after 2 months, I turned 17, and they sent me over to Cook County.
All right.
And
All right.
Cook
So
County is what
1990.
they say it is.
Yeah. So yeah, now tell me about that experience. Because from my understanding back then, it was the gangs had a lot of control, even to the point where the guards would place you, ask you what you rode, and would
Yeah,
place
yeah.
you
Well, when I
like,
came in, okay, let's say not in the Audi home, in the juvenile, it was different. When you came to Cook County, I went to back then. Division 4 was men. Today it's women now, but
mm,
back then it was men, and it was a men's division. So I got on the unit, and they was like, "Oh no, you ain't gonna be here." And that was the school wing, and that's supposed to be the wildest wings in the jail. Anytime
mm,
you got a bunch of younger guys together, it's gonna be a lot of trouble, especially in different gangs. So
mm,
they wound up sending me across the hall with a mixed crowd, like some older, some younger. And while I was there, a guy was like, "Oh yeah, you ain't gonna be over here too long. They're gonna move you to Division 2. You know what I'm saying? Gladiator school. You young, you going over to gladiator school. So,
mm,
but when I got on the deck, they was like, "What are you?" And I was like, "I'm an MC. That's Mickey Cobra." And they was like, "Oh, you one of Mickey's Cobras?" Yeah. Oh, and then they called a Stone. It was like one of your guys here, and I'm like, "I'm an MC." And then, but I get what they meant by one of your guys. And then the guy, they was cool. They was like, "Hey man, we got some food for you, some soap and stuff, yada yada yada." You hear the dream. Don't take no soap, don't take no food, don't take nothing and
mm.
all that. But
Right,
see, the
right.
difference is in the mob, when you actually a part of the organizations, that is nonsense. We don't even see none of that. So Literally, I went and got my food and stuff and got the shower stuff, and they put somebody on security for you to take a shower and things like that, so nobody don't try to run in there on you. And then I came out and everything was smooth. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to play chess with a few of the old heads, and before I knew it, they called my name one day and sent me over to Division Two, where they said Gladiator School was. So I'm thinking, I'm young, I'm tough. I'm, thinking, hey, I'm strong enough. I could deal with anything. As soon as I get over there, and it's a guy sitting down there with his head split. You can see the pink meat. You know what I'm saying? The white, they say, the white part. You know what I'm saying? His head was split open, man, and he was hollering, and they had blood everywhere. And then the one guard was like, "Yeah, we're gonna send you up to the deck." He just came from the Thunderdome Tea House. And I'm like, I guess this what it's gonna be. So I filed up the little toothbrush they give you with the toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? I filed up my toothbrush, like I got a little shank, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it work. But you know what I'm saying? When you get up there, man, everybody asks you what you are and they put you with your crowd. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a unit and it's 50 bunks in there. So it's a mixture of different mobs. So they have one side, they got the brothers, the vice lords, the stones, the MCs, the kings. And then in the middle, they got neutrons. And then on the other side, they got GDs and BDs and BGs. So, and Latin folks, they got all of that. So the 5 points down one side, 6 points down the other, neutrons in the middle. Unless it's too many of one of those gangs, then they go in the middle.
Okay. Now, did all the guys, so when you got there, because there's several gangs up under the 5, like you said, Vice Lords, Stones, Latin Kings, MCs. Did y'all kind of click together, or what was the dynamic amongst you all?
Well, all the mobs they get in together. So everybody under the 5 roll together, and everybody under the 6 roll together. Unless it's some kind of internal beef. But most times that gets squashed in the door because everything that happened on the streets stay on the streets in Cook County Jail, or in the penitentiary, in the Illinois penitentiary. So everything that happened on the streets stayed on the streets, and you know what I'm saying, we made more so a peaceful transition inside of there because this person under the 5 is all you got if it ever go down, or this person under the 6 is all you got if it ever go down. So you have to really stick with your people until you learn that it's not necessarily about gang banging. You know what I'm saying? It's necessarily about difference of opinion. And then, once you learn that, like you become friends, like almost like how you feel about your own mob, you start feeling about other mobs. And then when you learn that, and what I mean by mobs is other organizations. So when you find out that, let's say you find out that the heads of the organizations all sit down and eat dinner together. So what are you beefing about with somebody else? You got to learn how to sit down and eat dinner with people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it becomes. You sit down and eat dinner with people, you know what I'm saying? And you learn them and they learn you. And you find out that y'all are alike. It's just that in different moments of y'all life, y'all have difference of opinion. Like your brother, you'll fight your brother, you know what I'm saying? But it don't necessarily mean you got to kill him, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you get an understanding. And that's only a grown man speaking now as opposed to a kid. As a kid, we thought like kids. So we just fought and whatever happened. You know what I'm saying? But today, you sit back and you think about it like that's what it really was. We had difference of opinion.
Okay. All right. So fast forward a little bit, you do your bit in the county, but at some point you end up getting state time. Now walk me through the whole thing about the state.
Well, that was later in life. I wound up going home. I went home from the first case. I was found not guilty. And, maybe a couple years later, I got in some more trouble and ended up going to Cook County again. I had to stand there for like 2 years fighting the case. As we fought the case, it was me and a couple of other guys. So we fought the case and it was kind of terrible, man, because there was so many people against us, because we actually had we had a murder at the time. So it was like, nobody was, bragging on no death or nothing. Things happen, man. Living that kind of life, it was dumb as hell. People send you off and you're a kid and you go do it. And, you looked at like, oh, well, you just deal with it. So I ended up going in and the case got upgraded from 20 to 60 years to 60 years to 120 years, got upgraded again to 120 years to natural life. And then they went down and one of my co-defendants, he wound up copping out for 20 years. So when he took 20 years at 50%, you know what I'm saying? So he had to do 10. He took 20 years, and they threatened to make him come back and testify against us and all this other stuff, and we didn't believe it. We like, whatever. And I mean, the victim had a gun and all this, so it was like it wasn't nobody actually pleading for self-defense, but it was just like defending the neighborhood type thing, and in our mind that was self-defense. So you sit back and say, okay, cool, we're just gonna keep fighting, and as we fighting, the public defenders is all we got, because once you're in jail, man, you're really just a number, and people forget about you. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody paying for lawyers, and ain't nobody back then, ain't nobody paying for no lawyer, ain't nobody paying for your bond, ain't nobody sending commissary money. Things is different, and people got animosity and mad, and you look up, and it turns out to be it turns out that they, give me one second, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. They say they give us what was it? The public defender came to see us and was like, look, I'll go and get y'all 20 years if all y'all take it. And I was like, no, we're not taking no 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even do this case. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do it like this and yada, yada, yada. And they was like, man, look, man, stop playing. We got witnesses against you and other things. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. So we came to court, you know what I'm saying? And it's been almost 2 years at the time. And the guy was like, I got some news. I'm like, what's the news? He said, they offering 10 years at 50% if all of y'all take it. There's 3 of us left. It was 4 of us in the beginning on the case. So we like 10 years. Man, one dude took 20 years and he didn't even do the case. So we was like, man, no. You know what I'm saying? Can you go in there and get us a single number? Man, the dude looked at me so crazy, the public defender. They called a murder task force lawyer, but he's just a public defender. Man, he walked away and he came back after he talked to the judge and he was like, hey, man, the judge said, if y'all don't take this 10 years, he's going to lose y'all in the system. So we looked at each other, looked back at him, like, man, we need to go out there. He said, well, he just gave y'all a continuance for 2 weeks to think about it. Now, at this time, we like, shit, ain't nothing to think about. They talking about giving us, losing us in the system. Man, the case was just carrying 120 to natural life. So we like, man, what we going to do? By the time we came back to court, all of us had the same idea. Hey, man, I'm gone. I'm finna take this 10 years. So we all took the 10 years and wound up going to the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? The worst mistake of our life, because we should have went to trial. You know what I mean? The evidence was too weak. You know what I'm saying? And we just should have went to trial. That's the one thing that we all regretted, was taking that time on that case.
All right. So you end up doing 5 years?
Yeah, we did like 5 years, close to 5 years, like 4 years and some change, because you wind up getting good time. Back then, the Illinois system is set up to get good time for so many different things. And one of the things was that is not a second degree murder, which is what we got convicted of, was a class 1 felony. And it's not a class X. So we was able to get good time for like school and the drug program and things like that. But we didn't find out until we was already in there for a couple. We've been in jail now almost 3 years when we find out. And had we not been going to school and doing things for ourselves, we wouldn't have had none of the good time coming. But we was going to school and everything. So yeah, we actually went to college, and one of my co-defendants, he got several degrees. I personally didn't get a degree, but I did go to college and ended up leaving it and just, started my own thing. Once we came home, we started our own businesses. So, but that's down the line though.
Right. Okay. So you get to the penitentiary. Now, by this time, where were you at in the whole scheme of thing of the organization? Had you picked up rank or anything? Or were you still on the lower level?
No, we was on the lower level. Wasn't no rank. It was, you have I don't really put, like, I ain't gonna even say like no titles or nothing like that, but I'll say that we was lower level. We wasn't, none of us was on any of that type of stuff from that time.
Okay. All right. So you get to the penitentiary. Now, what's that dynamic like? Because I understand it's kind of similar to county, where is it like still folk nation, people nation, or is it a race thing? You get to the
no, in the penitentiary is still an organization / gang thing. It's always race involved with a lot of stuff. Don't get that messed up now. but it was definitely gang related. Everything was, but it was a lot more organized. It was there really wasn't a lot of violence like in Cook County Jail. Like Cook County Jail, we fought all the time. You're liable to get stabbed or stab somebody on just to try to survive. You know what I'm saying? But in the penitentiary, don't get me wrong, as long as you're not in the max, you know what I'm saying? Like we went through a max in the beginning, short stint of time before we went to whatever joints we was going to after that. And getting to those joints, we went to little gladiator schools that they call joints, you know what I'm saying, and fought our way through and things like that. But soon after, once you learn that, once you fighting and things like that, and people see that you will stand up, the fights end. And it's like, okay, we can get along. It's like a test thing. People testing your manhood to make sure, you tough or you hard and you going through and you fight for it and get it over with like that. So, yeah, you got to go in and stand up.
Was that coming from your own people or the enemies? You had to do
well, it's a mixture. You got to understand it. It's still an organization. So you have to do things by what is called law. You know what I'm saying? And you have to stand on these things and know these principles, and you have to actually teach them and live them. So you living them and teaching them, and you run into people who are misusing these things, and you have to forcefully take situations out of their hand where they are dictating the pace to guys. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to take, the situation out of their hand, then that's your job. If you know the law, you have the street law, you know what I'm saying? Or the gang law or the organization law, whichever way you want to say it. So once you know that, then you have to be able to stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves. Or those who don't know the situation. They can stand up for themselves, but they don't know the situation. You know what I mean? If you don't know the literature, how can you stand up for something? You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that, 1 and 1 is 2, and you over here trying to say it's 3, you know what I'm saying? If a guy come in and know the math, then he gonna, you know what I'm saying, use the math for his best ability, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. All right. So you do your like your 4 years and change, and you come back home. Okay. What happens after that? What does your life take you there? Were you done with that lifestyle, or were you back into it?
Well, like anybody that done time and went through a few programs while they was inside, you think that life is over with. You know what I'm saying? But then like reality hits when you come home, and the reality I mean is the reality of the lifestyle you lived. So now you're home and you're looking around to see, what's called a blessing. Where's your blessing that you get after doing time for your organization, or time period? Ain't necessarily for the organization, but time just for doing whatever you did. So you're like, damn, somebody gonna look out for me. I get a couple dollars. I can go do this. Like me and one of my guys wanted to start a food truck. We wanted to do a food truck. We're like, man, we're gonna do a food truck. We ain't even gonna worry about it. We ain't gonna mess around in the streets. We ain't gonna do nothing. And we asked the mob, like, can we get $3,000 to start a food truck? And we was turned down. And we looking at each other like, man, what? We just did this time, man. Y'all talking we can't get 3,000 measly dollars. I don't know if this is fortunate or unfortunate, but shit, I met a few people that knew a few things that I needed to know at the time. And I got in the streets. You know what I'm saying? My guys basically for the most part just followed me. You know what I'm saying? We tried our luck in the streets, and everything was love, and but we were still into it with guys for reasons that some of us didn't understand. Yeah, we lived some reckless lives, you know what I'm saying? And we followed a lot of orders that, we shouldn't have followed back in our younger years. And a lot of that came back to bite, especially me, came back to bite, you know what I'm saying, in the situation where I actually had to deal with some nonsense because of an order that I took before. And in trying to hustle, people tried to use everything against you. Like, man, this happened with you. You can't do this. You can't do that. And you're like, man, fuck you. And you go to war, and this is what it is. I'm going to do this. And now, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this. And it's not necessarily like you went against the grain, but in a sense, it's like you're going against the grain because the grain telling you can't do it. And you're like, damn, I bled like y'all bled. I did what y'all did. I put myself in situations that my life can be taken in order to get away and live a better life. That's the same thing y'all supposed to be out here doing. So when you going through all this and people ain't honoring it, they like, man, whatever, we're not hearing it. But the thing is, I was always a kind-hearted brother, so I always offered the guys like, "What y'all want to do? Y'all want to come get money with me? Y'all want to do this?" You know, some of the guys, "Nah, man, I don't want to do that. That's too dangerous. That's this, that, and the third." And I was selling heroin at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing it. And it was a lot of nonsense going on from the particular heads at the time that's saying like, y'all can't do this, y'all can't do that, and we was going back and forth with that, man, and it just caused a lot of friction within ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And it turned us into some bitter people with each other. You know what I'm saying? So we went through our whole thing with that and uh man, basically just, made the best of it. You know what I'm saying? We had to deal with people trying to get us extorted, get us robbed by the police, all type of stuff. And, we battled them situations the best way we could. You know what I'm saying? With dudes trying to do everything they could to get us to go against each other. You know what I mean? And it's a hard task, man, when everybody is after you and saying this and do that, but we overcame those things as after many, many attempts and failed attempts on our lives and other things, you know what I'm saying? So it was a crazy mess.
Wow. Okay.
And by this time, you can look at it and say, we making all this money and everything is everything, like I say, I made sure that, my guys didn't really have to do nothing. I did it all, you know what I'm saying? And I just let people believe what they want to believe, you know what I'm saying? And, period, point blank. It all led to us got actually catching a federal case later in life. That's the only reason I'm speaking on these things because it already happened. You know what I'm saying? So a person to understand that all this stuff happened already. We've been charged with it. That life is over with. You know what I'm saying? We don't live that life no more. But we went through a whole lot of nonsense to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? And if I had it all over to do again, I can't say that I'll do it the same. Um, because a lot was lost, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of bonds was broken, you know what I'm saying. So I don't think I could go through all that again, you know what I mean. I probably would do some things different, but some things I'll do the same, you know what I'm saying. It'll be what it'll be. And when we wound up catching the federal case, it was because one of the guys caught a case years before us. He gave him a little bit too much information. um Broke down a few too many things, and it led to other guys years later getting caught up. So when people think they know about the feds, they don't really know. They go off information, and believe me, everybody got some information for them. So when they wound up giving us a fed case, and it just was a bunch of information they picked up over the years, and so like when they had guys wearing wires and all type of stuff, man, that had us just all messed up. I'm not putting nobody's name out here because this is not what I'm here for. I'm just saying that, it all happened like it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it got to the point, and I'll be real honest with you, like that once we all got locked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh man, I'm talking about like, man, it's difficult to hear your attorney say, man, did you sign anything? And you like, no. And they bust out a paperwork and they say, well, all of these people flipped. All of them signed this and they saying this. And you looking like, damn, you got 18 of your so-called guys that you came up with is, you know what I'm saying, going in. And then you get, as days go, more and more go in. And everybody's begging you to save their life. Hey, can you, because we went in jail and they tried to put the whole city of everything that happened with fentanyl, they tried to put on us. And we fighting this like, man, we didn't bring fentanyl to the city. We didn't have nothing to do with that. And but some guys agreed that they did have something to do with that. And for the most part, everybody didn't. So what I'm saying, it just became one of those things, and it was like, damn. And now we fighting this shit. And they trying to give us 384 deaths due to drug-induced homicides from around the city. And they didn't care that we didn't have nothing to do with all of those deaths. All they wanted to do was dump all the deaths off on somebody for all of the deaths that's happening in the city of Chicago. That wasn't right to put that on 29th Street. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do that. So, but we had to deal with that. And then people was, trying to get out of these situations by saying whatever they said. You know what I'm saying? They tried hard to get out of the situation, and a lot of them did. You know what I'm saying? Some people never even got charged. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be known as individuals from now on. But you know what they don't know is the Freedom of Information Act, where you just go ahead and you can see that everybody has something to say. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tried to save themselves. Unlike, you know, when certain guys was trying to save their friends, like, hey, look, I did mostly everything. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. And people looked at that like that was wrong too. But I say this, and I say this to everybody. I don't care if you, me, the president, or anybody else talk to the police. It's wrong when it come down to you going against the grain and your friends. That's just wrong. It don't make a difference. You can't make it up. You can't do nothing different. So don't come being who you thought you were before. You know what I'm saying? You need to leave all of that alone. You need to go somewhere else and figure something else out or do whatever you got to do. But don't come out doing the same thing you was doing, because now you're living a false life and you're not living the life that you were told. This is the way we are. We ain't like this. We don't talk. We don't do this. But once you done did it, it's like, you know, you're a damn fool if you uh going sitting around the same people that want you dead, you know what I'm saying, or hate you or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, going back to our neighborhoods, you know, I went back to the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, and I listened, because you know, once you go to the feds, everybody say you got something to say, you said this or you said that. They don't know your situation. They don't know what was going on with you. They just got something to say. So I look at it like it ain't necessarily about that, man. It was more so about the fentanyl. You know what I mean? I didn't want none of my guys to do life in jail for no damn drug that they didn't even know that was on there. You know what I'm saying? That made no sense. So when we was in there, you know, when I heard that all those 18 guys was telling and all this, that, and the third, I looked at them and I said these exact words. It may not even be right to say, but I said it. I was like, man, y'all already doing what y'all doing. Just don't give us no violent shit. Let us go home, man. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that nobody did nothing violent, but just leave this as a drug case, a drug case. Let everybody go home one day, man. You know what I'm saying? And leave it at that. And people was crying and saying how they sorry and all this shit. They'll never admit it today, but they all was crying and saying shit. And you sitting back looking like, damn, you know, and in every situation you turn, you hearing somebody say, do this, save my life, help me, help me. And you like, fuck, how can I do anything? You know what I'm saying? And you like, dude, I can't do this, you know what I'm saying? And now you like, man, I gotta figure out a way to try and save the multitude. If you look at, you know, I don't care who look, you know, people look the case up, do whatever they do. You say, with my guys, you know, I was sentenced to I was sentenced to 18 years, but I wound up getting 3 years off when the laws changed, and it was to 15 years. I did 13 years in a month. The people who was on my direct case, now the case was big. It was 49 people on the case, but uh it was only 6 people on my case, and it was, you know, some amount of teams on one case and some amount of teams on another case. You know, I don't remember the exact numbers, but they split our case up into 3 after it being one. You know what I'm saying? And in splitting it up like that, you know what I'm saying? Out of the people that's under my case, everybody except for one dude got 15 years other than me, and everybody else got 8 years and 8.5 years and under that. You know what I'm saying? Low numbers. So people can say what they want to say, think what they want to think. I look at it like my guys went home. And the rest of the guys, they were still my guys too. You know what I'm saying? But they had their own situations to deal with for whatever they was doing. I didn't have nothing to do with fentanyl. It was made known in the court that I ain't had nothing to do with it. That means none of the people around me had nothing to do with it. So that helped us more than it hurt us. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that was a blessing in itself, you know. And you know, dealing with all that, bro, is like, it's like, man, you never really get past it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you have to figure this. I was offered the same kind of stuff. I could have did the same kind of stuff on the streets that I did before I left. But when I came home, I looked at things and was like, I'm gonna go back to jail if I do this. You know what I'm saying? Let alone when I took my time, I said in the raw, man, Joe, I quit. I'll never sell drugs again. know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about me. If you catch me selling drugs, you can give me life. I quit. I quit for real. So what I did was I turned the whole pay. I had to wait. I got out in January of 19, and I had to wait in this halfway house for 6 months. And while I was in the halfway house, man, I had to quit 8, 9, 10 jobs. All this when people talking about, oh man, ain't nothing out here to work, ain't nothing to do this, I can't do that. I'm still stuck in a mind frame of I can go get some money if everything go wrong. I can go do this, I can go do that, I can go back hustling. But the reality was, shit, you're gonna get life in prison if you go touch them drugs. So I just kept going. And man, I kept going and waiting it out and taking these odd jobs and stuff. And then I went to the Urban League. And when I went to the Urban League, they paid for me to get a CDL. I just had to go do the test and all the stuff to get it. Man, it was the best thing could ever happen to me.
But before we get there,
I kind of went real far on you, right?
No, this is good. This is good stuff. I definitely want to listen. Before we get there, I want to talk about your stint in the feds. Okay, so what was that like coming from? You know how it is done in Illinois. So you going to the Fed, that's a whole different like ball game. What was your reaction when you first hit the Fed joint?
Necessarily the joint is when you first get locked up by the feds. You're kind of weirded out because they put you all over. They put you in counties in different states. I mean, different cities, and even they'll move you out of the state. If you know what I'm saying, to keep you away from everybody. So you have a real concern, you know what I'm saying, with keeping somebody a certain way because you all separate from each other. They get you all away from each other to break you down. You know what I'm saying? And then they then once you get convicted and you actually go to the joint, you learn that it's about race. In the feds, it's so racist, it's crazy than all outdoors. Like the blacks gotta stick together. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans stick together. The Puerto Ricans, they stick together. But and they fight each other. You know what I'm saying? It's really racist. The white people stick together. Man, you ever been around a white person that got a tattoo of a dark image hanging from a tree? Come on, man. It's racist. It's all out racism in there. And it wound up being where the races stick together, and not to down nobody else city, but people from Chicago know how to politic. So once you start politicking, man, and you get, you go from race to race, you know how to knock some of that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Get it out the way. But when it come down to it, the race still gonna be the issue more than it is gonna be the game. So you sticking together no matter you want to or not.
Okay. Now even with the blacks and the different races sticking together, were there still like different state cars or anything like that? Was it further broken down within the race, or was it just
every state had their own car. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Some cities had their own car. You know what I'm saying? Like we had the Chicago car, right? But then when you got the Chicago car, it wound up being like the Midwest car because people from Joliet come and they'd be like, I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? People from wherever, I'm from Chicago. Right. And we know that the suburbs really not Chicago, but it's Chicago because we ain't gonna let nobody do him in because we know. We like, he not really from Chicago, but he from Chicago. So it went from that to the Midwest Coalition. You know what I'm saying? So then you got the whole Midwest together because it was getting bad, man, with, different organizations in them jails. You know what I'm saying? Different races. You know what I'm saying? That's the organization I'm talking about now. So, when it get bad, you better stick together because some people it's weird that when races are sticking together, we can find a way to divide up and be this coalition or that coalition. But most of them stuck together. Don't get me wrong. Some different races fought each other too. But for the most part, us as black people stuck together and fought. You know what I'm saying? So us as black people stuck together for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And we dealt with that.
Okay.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Now, how would a car be ran? Like, so it's a Midwest car. The Midwest, you get several different mobs. How would they come together to decide who's running the car?
Well, most times that when everything is going how it's going, there would be uh probably somebody who had some juice on the streets, who was, a
Okay.
leader, so be it, on the streets, or would come in and try to get things together, or he would have somebody who he feel comfortable with as doing it. Know what I'm saying? So that's how. Yeah. I'm my
Okay.
bad, brother. I had to mute you
That's
for a
good.
second.
That's
You
good.
know. So mm-mm, mm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then,
So
all right. So now I also understand that in the fair joints, you got prison gangs like BGF and stuff like that. So say for
uh,
example, I mean, I don't
that's
want to.
that's
I'm not going to get too deep to that. I'm just saying.
right.
Say for example, say I'm from Chicago, right? And
Uh-huh.
I come in as whatever gang I was, and at some point I join one of those prison groups. Where does my loyalty lie? Is it with my prison group or is it with my state group?
I'll say this. I don't know much about
Okay.
uh the BGF or anything like that, right? I don't know nothing
Okay.
about them. So what I
Okay.
will say is, because I didn't run into them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but what I will say is there are some prison gangs, but
Mm.
from what I've been through, there are it's more so just the states, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But
Okay.
if the for the few prison gangs that you do run into, they serious. They just like a regular gang. It ain't no,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? They just like a regular gang. And if you get into it and you call yourself hooking up with a prison gang, when the time came down to it, you roll with that prison gang over your own hood or your own state, I should say. Then
Okay.
if you roll with that prison gang, then your own state might get at you after that's done. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Or
Okay.
they'll cut you off. And then when that prison gang get mad at you and do whatever they do to you, they won't help you.
Wow.
So you gotta put yourself in that situation. You gotta ask yourself, you rolling with your car, the way you come from, or you rolling with this car, this prison gang that you became a part of?
Okay. Wow. That's deep right there. Now, yeah, you know how Chicago is kind of a little bit different than most states, where like I said, under the five or in the six, you may have like Latin folks, Latin stones or whatever. So does that so say it was like a guy, Hispanic guy who's a Latin king, does
Hmm.
he roll with an Illinois car or does he just roll
I'll say
Hispanic?
this. I'll say this.
Mm.
The Latin Kings roll with the Latin Kings.
Okay.
And don't get me
Okay.
wrong, if they own that time, like they may have something said that we own this Chicago time or we own this time. But the Latin Kings roll with the Latin King. They are one of the strongest people can look to and be like they roll with each other for real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not saying no other mob don't. I'm just saying them people they really roll together. You know what I'm saying? They in
All
their
right.
own thing. You know what I'm saying? They do what they do.
All right. And did you ever encounter a situation or see it like a situation where you know how like Chicago gangs, they everywhere. You go everywhere you see disciples, you go everywhere you see vice lords,
Hmm.
people nations spread all over. Is there ever
Okay.
a situation where like the state cars might be into it with each other? I'm just saying, like say for example, Illinois and I don't know, Mississippi, but in that Mississippi car, you got a lot of guys who are in Chicago gangs. Did you ever see a
Well, let
very
me say this. Let me say
like
this.
that?
Let me say this. Let me say this. Okay. It's yes, a lot of the gang stuff started in Chicago, true.
Mm-hmm.
But you got Crips and Bloods all over. And
Mm-hmm.
even though some people from Chicago went to places and started some of them too, even
Mm-hmm.
though they was already around too. So they came around, you know what I'm saying? I want to say in the 70s if I'm not mistaken, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put that out there like that. I just want to say I think. But
Okay.
uh all respect to each one of them, each organization. I have nothing against none of them. I'm just saying that when they do how do you say it? Like you get into it. You said when you get into it with a gang, do they roll with each other or the
Yeah,
car?
yeah.
Is what
So
you're
you know, like
saying?
for example,
So
I'm from Illinois. We in the Illinois car. Like I said, you may have
and you happen to
people
be let's say you're a GD and it's a GD in a St. Louis car, but he
exactly.
in the St. Louis car. Well, like I said again, it goes back to what I said with the the cars. If you rolling with your car, you roll with your car. The GD is not
Okay.
gonna get at you because you're a GD from somewhere else, this, that, and the third. But they can lay their own move down and be like, "Well, you rolling with us? That's it." You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
okay.
each gang can tell a gang, man, you with us or you with them.
Mm.
You know, it's on you
Okay.
to make that choice. You with them or you with the gang.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's what
So
it
there's a lot
is.
of
You know, a lot
choices
of
to be
people,
made then.
yeah, yes, there's a lot of choices because what you make, that choice you make, you can't take back because it's like,
Mm.
you know, you can tell a person like, okay, I ain't rolling with no cars. I'm rolling with men. You know what I'm saying? We on men time. If you're a man and you standing up and you ain't even tripping about nothing, you rolling how this how they did it. So it was groups of guys that did that. Like I might meet a person in there and he'd be like, man, I'm on some man time. I ain't on that gang time. And I'll be like, you know, I'm part of a gang. I can't, I'm sorry. I'm part of the organization, but you know, I'm on man time. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can you be on both? You know what I'm saying? And they be like, man, because
Right.
I really ain't on no gang shit. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, don't get me wrong. You're a part of the organization. You're a part of. You can't do nothing about it. The only thing you can do is try to make it better. You know what I'm saying? That's what the
Mm.
actual gang's supposed to do is make every situation better. You're supposed to go in an environment, no matter what environment it is, and you got to find a way to make it better if it's unsuitable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You got to make it a
Okay.
way where it's better. You know what I'm saying? And if you can do that, then uh I mean you basically winning. You know what I'm saying? If I can go in a situation and I see that it's all this nonsense, but I go in here and I make it where it's a little more organized, then
Mm.
of course people gonna look to me for guidance. You know what I'm saying? But that's with anybody. If you can go in there and you can make something that's unorganized, organized, then people start looking to you for leadership, for
Mm.
guidance. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people did that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So last
So
couple of things before we get back to where you're going to today. Did you, from your observation, did you see more conflict within groups or between groups?
between
For
gangs or
example, do you see,
between cars?
yeah, either one, like, do you see more gang groups putting it down on their own more so than you did fighting other groups, like say, for example,
No, you
or
will
was it
find
about
more.
even?
No, you finding more. No, they ain't gonna get down on their own group. It's hard to get down on your own group. The only way
Okay.
people get down on their own group, a lot of times they'd rather just not fuck with you. Like if you come on the unit, if you come in a Fed joint and let's say you hot meaning you told or something, right? Uh,
Mm.
a lot of times people will make you leave, like you just leave the compound. You know what I'm saying? Like go
Mm.
check yourself in the hole, leave the compound. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when like it's real organization on the compound. If it's not
Mm.
organization on the compound, still people will try to get you to, go and check yourself in, this, that, and the third. You know, some people they didn't mess with like that, but some people they did. You know what I'm saying? It's all
Mm.
a part of which joint you was in and what was going on in that joint.
Okay.
So
Okay.
most times people just stuck together instead of going through all the nonsense. They'd rather stick with you
Mm.
than against you, unless you was one of those people that did, too much wrong.
Okay. All right. And last prison question is, were you ever involved in a riot or witness
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
riot?
I've been in a lot of rides. That's
Yeah.
happens. Yeah,
Okay.
and not like
And
that.
one.
Not like that's a good thing. That's not a good thing.
Mm.
I've been in a few of them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a lot. I'll say a few. I've been in a
All
few
right.
of them, and it's survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
that's the truth. Because
All
you
right.
might think you got it, boy, and then you might get rushed by 30 people from the same race or state, and it's just you because they got your other homie over there. And how you may not only it may be a joint with 1,500 people, and then it might only be 12 people from your state there.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And you got 12 people, you know what I'm saying? It may be you
Right.
may be in, let's say, Georgia somewhere, not necessarily saying that's how I go in Georgia, just saying you may be in Georgia and it's 100 people or 500 people from Georgia. You get into it with a Georgia dude, and it's only 10 of y'all, they gonna whoop all y'all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Unless y'all all got knives and y'all stabbing them and they ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? That's a different
Mm.
story. But for you looking at the truth, and I just use that as a hypothetical. That don't necessarily mean none of that happened like that. But
Right.
people, they get down like that. You know what I'm saying? And you get
Mm.
stuck in a situation. What you gonna do?
Right. Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Then
right.
you might be cool with somebody from Georgia, and you cool with somebody from Georgia, and he get into it with somebody. I don't care whether the person be from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? You really ain't got nothing to do with it, but you rolled with him. Now the North Carolina
Mm.
car after you. So you got to go fight the North
Mm.
Carolina car. You know what I'm saying? Your guys might be looking at you like you was wrong for helping them because you put them in a dangerous situation. So now, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So you just don't know.
Wow. That's a hell of a life to live. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So a while back you were talking about, so I want to pick back up where you talked about you got your CDL at the Urban League. So was that like a
Oh,
pivotal
okay. That's once
point
I
when
came home.
things started to change for you?
Uh, I'm gonna be real honest. The day I got locked up, I was already changed, bro. I already
Okay.
knew that I was done. I was done with a lot
Mm.
of the things that was going on. I had already felt so many wrong things happening. And then like when you around and you seeing like, a lot of negativity, more negative things than positive, you know, it's like anything, you know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to get yourself out of that situation.
Mm.
So I started staying home more. You know what I'm saying? And people wouldn't notice, you know what I'm saying, without me telling them, but I just didn't feel it no more like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But once we got in there, it was like, damn, lesson learned. You don't have to get you. I promise you this. For any person that ever been locked up, especially for hustling, the lesson is learned by the time you get to the police station.
Mm.
When they got you and you find when you find out how much time your case carries, you don't have to teach a person past that point right there. You
Wow.
don't have to. If your case carried 10 years to life, did you not hear what I just said? It carried 10 years to life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you sitting there like, man, you can give me any number you want if it carried to life.
Mm.
And then you find out that the system rigged back then before the law started changing with the president changing all the laws. Remember when uh man, crack, you can get caught with 5 keys of cocaine, right? Powder
Mm.
cocaine, right? And you got an eighth of key in rock cocaine. You'll get
Mm.
more time for the eighth of key in rock cocaine than you did for the 5 keys.
Yeah.
Crack carry 100 to 1, meaning you getting
Mm.
100 times more than what you would get for 1 year. What you would have got
Mm.
5 years for, they're gonna give you 100 times more than that. That's why they gave so many people life back then. That's why all them brothers sitting in jail with life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because and they gave all and everybody, oh, they gave me clemency. They gave me clemency. Yeah, they gave you too much time in the beginning. They shouldn't have had to
Mm.
give you clemency. They should have been letting you go. You know what I'm saying? They should have been letting you go years before you even got to clemency. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But you know what I'm saying? That's the system. So when you sit back and say I'm gonna tell you like this. Right? Everybody be thinking they know the feds. I'm gonna say this one thing real quick.
Mm.
Say me and you, this hypothetical. Me and you, we hustling. Say I get caught with uh a eighth of key or crack
Mm.
cocaine. I know that this finna carry 30 years to life, right? So what I do, oh no, I get this from the brother Mike. Ooh, this, that, and the third. Now I go get and tell these people that, and then they come and get you, and I tell them I've been buying an eighth of key from you every week for the last 10 weeks.
Mm.
So they add that up. And then they add that up. They say, okay, well, he's been buying an eighth key every week for 10 weeks. What is that? An eighth and an eighth. That's a quarter. So you saying what I say, 10 weeks? So
Mm.
you done put together. I'm just throwing I'm not even doing the math. I stopped doing the math. I'm just gonna say, let's just say it's 2 keys. No, it,
Mm.
it it can be way different than that. Just say it's 2 keys. So you got 2 keys of crack. You ain't never coming home. So now I done made a deal with them people and I got you booked and I possibly won't even go to jail or I'm possibly gonna get a couple years and you getting what they call a ghost drug back then.
Mm.
You got convicted for something they never caught you with. You ain't get caught with no drugs at
Wow.
all. It's all off word of mouth. And that's how they got a lot of people locked up, man, today. And then they said they got rid of the ghost drug in about like, I think it was like 2010 or 12. They said they got rid of the ghost drug, right? And when they changed the laws to the 18 and 1 instead of 101. Why is it 18 to 1? It's still just cocaine. It just got cooked. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it's still 18 to 1. So you're still getting too much time. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying? They make it where you don't want to sell drugs because it's all messed up. The only good thing is that system that I just said, like if a person get caught and try to set you up and he thinking that you're gonna be gone forever, it ain't like that no more.
Mm.
He may set you up, but you may only be gone 10 years. You know, like you know what I'm saying? If you look at it like the dude that set me up, I did 13 straight years for him. You know what I'm saying? And he wound up getting, I think, 10 years or 12 years or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? So he did 10 years. He did 10 years or close to 10 years, and I did 13 years. So it wasn't even worth him setting me up. You know what I'm saying? Because what if I had an attitude and came home with some nonsense? Now I'm chasing him, but I'm not. I quit. Day one. I don't want none of that. I'm keep it raw with you because you sit back and you think about that, like, man, it's the system is designed to destroy us, like mentally. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, take all your hood stripes and everything. They want you out of there. They want anything they can do to get rid of us, and that's the truth. And we so silly, we give it to them instead of being strong enough to just say, hey, I ain't letting that happen. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's if I gave you some understanding of this,
oh,
it's just different.
A lot of understanding. Oh yeah.
It's really different, bro. And they got like this thing called a phone count, right? I remember when I first got locked up, I was locked up with KT, Troy Martin, you know what I'm saying? The leader of the mafias, right? Supposed leader of the mafias, right? The mafia Insaine Vice Lords. We got super cool. Jam, that's my man. KT, my man. But you sit back and listen to, like, I told my attorney what he said I should do. Like, he said, I'm only gonna get 8 years for 2 phone counts, and the rest of it, you know what I'm saying, ain't gonna be really no time. So I should just do like this or do like that. I should be straight. She said, and I hate to say it like this, but this is what she said. I told him this too. She said, just pay attention. They're gonna give him life and 30 years. She said they're gonna give him life from the participation. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
She said, I need a charger. You got a charger too? Yeah. So he said I need a she said he gonna get life for everything that they was charging him with, but he gonna get 30 years in phone count time alone. She like they can give him phone count. I'm gonna tell you that in a second. She said they could give him life for the phone counts. It's just like that. I was like, this crazy. So a phone count is if I call you, right? I call you, you'll plug that in up for me, bro. Give me 1 second, bro. Oh, I'm tripping. I can't see. So yeah. So thank you. My bad. I'm back now.
All right.
So say I call you and I'm like, I'm gonna use good examples for this. This is this simple. Man, bro, I wear a size 9. Grab me 2 pair of shoes while you at the store. They'll say that was 2 quarter keys of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Now that might carry, just hypothetically saying, that might carry 10 years to life. Because how the feds go is 0 to 24, 24 to 5, 5 to I think it's like 5 to 10, 10 to life, 20 to life, 30 to life. You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. And you get, so let's say they say, okay, that meant this, that, and the third. Well, that's what that meant. And they got a specialist that's gonna come in there and say that. They got a CI that's gonna come in there and say that, and he just as good as a specialist. So they gonna say, there's so many people that's gonna say that that's what it is, that you sitting there looking like, oh, but he just asked me to buy him 2 pair of shoes for real. They don't care that it's not. I'm gonna use an example. I was in a car with one of my boys, right? And I was leaving the heroin alone. And I was like, man, I'm gonna start selling weed. But we not saying these words in the car. I'm just like, man, I just want to cross the street and do this, that, and the third. I'm through with that. Well, my man thought I was talking about one thing when I was only talking about weed. So I was like, man, no, hell no, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about weed. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, this, that, and the third. Well, when they got the phone counts, they said that phone count, they couldn't find who my man was, of course, but they was like, that phone count, they was saying that I was saying, well, we said 13-3, which is MC, it's Mickey Cobra, right? So we said 13-3 when we was leaving each other. They said that I was in there talking about buying 3 keys for 13,000 a piece.
Wow.
I said, what? Man, y'all crazy. Because we talked about weed in the beginning, and then we said 13-3 at the end when we was leaving. And they said that meant 3 keys for 13,000 a piece. And I'm like, I don't know what keys y'all talking about, but I don't know nothing about no 3 keys. But if you understand that, you know what I'm saying, that you don't notice when you're going in, that's a phone count. Phone count carry up to 4 years. So when they hand me the paperwork, My lawyer picked up all my phone counts.
Mm.
She handed me 130 years worth of phone counts out of the first few pages. She said, don't listen to nobody talking about you gonna get no damn 8 years for 2 phone counts only. That's not how it go. Everybody that go in there, when they cop out, they was copping out for at least 2 phone counts because they want you to do 8 years. They're not gonna give you 4 years. So that's why everybody think, oh, I could just get hit for the phone counts. I'm gonna get 2 phone counts. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not mistaken, one of my guys got 2 phone counts, even though he copped out to everything that was said. He took 2 phone counts, which was 8 years, but that still don't justify what I said. You know what I'm saying? You're getting 8 years and you're not but you still convicted of all the same shit. It don't make sense, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't give him more time than that when they could have gave him more time than that.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? And you sit back and think like, well, shit. If you my man and they saying that they want to give you all the same thing they giving me, and I'm like, hell no, my man, I put money in there. I gave him this. I did this. I shook her. He didn't touch the stuff. He ain't do this. He ain't do that. So they can't say that didn't happen if I said that you ain't do none of it. So they really what they got against you? Really a couple phone counts, and you moved away. You ain't even in town. So in my mind, I'm like, shit, my man straight. I don't care what nobody think. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. That's just how it is. That's how people was thinking in there. Like, man, I'm doing this. I ain't going. So even man, listen, even a dude who I was getting money with told me, you know what I'm saying? When we go home, let's get it again. Yada yada yada. Let's partner up. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, damn, you ain't learning nothing from this. But you do still think about hustling when you in there until you find out, it ain't what it was. Ain't none of it like they say it is. When you see that everybody got something to say, I don't care who they is. People can play the role, play tough. It's gonna be people in the comments saying stuff and doing stuff. Bro, it's everybody got something to say. They lying. Man, I listen to people try to play tough. They got this, they did. Man, it's a few that really don't say nothing. And I respect that, right? It was I remember we was in with the Insaine deuces, know what I'm saying? Man, I got so much love for my man, them man. It was dudes, man, that man, they went hard and went to trial. And even the dude that was saying something took his shit back and wasn't saying it no more. But and that's something else with the feds. If you say something, you can literally decide, you know what, I ain't gonna go through with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to trial. And they're gonna use everything you said against you. And then they're not gonna put it out against nobody else. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing with them. So my man then was like, man, I'm going to trial. They went to trial, man. They was coming back, man. Brothers had life and double. They ain't had no regular life. They had double life and so on and so forth. And they was coming back like, yeah, I'm just fight it and get back and this and this. And you're like, damn, Charlie, you know what I'm saying? And my man, they gave my man 40 years. And let me show you how they work now. He had a state case that he did his time for. They came back and gave him 20 years for that state case that he was already convicted and done his time for. Then they gave him 20 years for the RICO Act.
Okay.
And ran it wild. So he got 40 years. So when people be talking that they don't know what the fuck they talking about, man. This shit crazy. They really out there bad with us, man. They don't care. Man, you're going to hear all kind of stuff. But I'm telling you in the raw, this is what it is. No matter what, this is what it is, man. Them people would give you time for anything. I watched, man. I remember one of my guys was in there. He had a gun case, man. And the man said, man, you don't deserve to go down like this, man. Tell him I'm gonna leave several guns in a garage that they can take off the street because they was telling you can get time off for guns. So he like, man, I got like 10 of them. I give them all to you, man, to help you get off that time, man. I said, damn, for real? And this was when we were still fighting the case. Man, I talked to my lawyer and she said, yeah, they need a body with that. Well, I can't get him no body, so that's it. I can't even get him the guns now. I gotta tell my man, get that shit out of there. Know what I'm saying? And he like, all right, fuck it. Because I never knew where it was at, so I couldn't tell them where it was at anyway. But I'm just saying I didn't know because the whole thing was he gonna tell me when they say yeah. Know what I'm saying? So, but she tried to get me out of there. She's like, man, I'll try to get you some time off of that, man. It didn't work. They not honoring that. They want a person to go to jail. They don't care about all that. You know what I'm saying? And that's up to you. You got to be able to work that out. Like, nope, I can't send nobody to jail. I'm gonna do it like this. And hey, man, that's what they own. They don't care. Now I'm telling you, the system is bad, bro. It's really corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's really corrupt. But the thing is, though, you know, it's funny. Like I'm gonna use again. I'm gonna go back to the case, right? Uh, there's people who had a whole lot to say out their mouth about everybody, right? But those same people was individuals on the case. That's what they don't think you know. Like if you tell on me, but you not in the case and you don't want your name in it, they put you down as an individual. But then they'll say something like, let's say for instance, you had a background where you caught a case and you had a green car and it had gold rims, right? So they'll have that in the paperwork. A guy who only we can say is he caught a drug case and he had a green car with gold wheels at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's the guy who is the cooperating defendant. Who was what I call him? Damn, what was the name? What I can't even think of, man.
individual.
Anyway, he individual. Yeah, this is that individual. So everybody know you the one with the green car and the gold rims.
Right, right.
So everybody like, but then you out there talking about, yeah, them dudes all went to jail. They ain't no good. They this, they that. Ooh, you making a big fuss. The whole time you told on us too. So that's the difference in that. People play the role, man. They lying. Everybody has something to say, man. They can't, man. I don't care what race called the case with you, whatever. People talk that shit. But this is something about every gang, though. I'm gonna say this clear. It don't matter what gang you in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got something to say. It's just that everybody ain't I don't mean everybody like that. I mean like you can't trust everybody. Somebody got something to say to try to get out of their situation. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it like it ain't that one gang is tougher than another gang or nothing like that, man, because it's happened in every gang. It don't mean that everybody in the gang is fucked up, but it's happened in every gang that somebody has something to say to get out of the situation. People are out for self. They not out for nothing else. They out for self. They just want to get out of the situation, man, no matter what it costs. Get me out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part is, man, you don't want to see that happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see your people go to jail and be gone forever. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go, man, hopefully you come back soon. You know what I'm saying? But when you deal with people who like, I know a whole bunch of people that's locked up, man, that been gone 20 and almost 30 years now. You know what I'm saying? And then while I was in there, I ran into people who've been gone since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? And man, bro, to sit next to somebody that been gone since the 70s and to hear the same pain that you already going through, like, damn, it ain't just us. It ain't just these guys. It ain't just this mob. It ain't just that. You know what I'm saying? Man, I watch people look at each other like they'll look at one dude and look down on him, but turn around and he did the same thing. So what the hell you looking down on him for? Everybody played a point finger. I'd rather say you did this, that, and the third than let you know I did it. That's what they is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, man. My best advice to every mob in every situation, man, just leave that shit alone. Find a new route. When I went to that urban league, man, I went in there to get a job. You know what I'm saying? And I dude had hooked me up in there, man. The brother hooked me up in there. He's like, man, you can get a job, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? We do got a program called Driving Futures, and no, he said we got a program called Building Futures and Driving Futures. And I was like, Building Futures, what's that? And they like, oh, they do construction. They teach you how to do. They do apprenticeship classes where you can do construction, you can do carpentry, electricians, and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, damn, well, sign me up. Then he said, well, they got another one called Driving Futures. And I'm like, what's that? And like, well, they got a CDL program where they pay for it, but you have to be interviewed by them. And when you're interviewed by them, they they decide if you're qualified to go and do this CDL program because they don't want to mess up the program because it just started. They want to make sure they get the right people in there that's actually going to use it for a career. I was like, dang, that's how they getting down. Okay, so this is what we gonna do. So I went on ahead and did it. I jumped in, and they was like, when I jumped in, they was like, man, you had to give them a little bit of your background. Like I said, I had to give a little bit of the stuff I just told you. And you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, man, they was like, we gonna let you get in, Mr. Barksdale. And I was like, damn, this might be a chance. The first day I went to the class, they put us in a truck and made us drive it. I don't know what I'm doing. They told me, man, get in there, put it in one and do this. And like, how you put it in one? You got to look at the stick and do it like they say and all this, that, and the third. And before you know it, we doing it. I'm sorry for making too much noise back here. But no, so we was going through it and I'm like, man, so a bunch of us, had been locked up before and been through situations and we all like, shit, we gonna make it through together. So the Urban League, man, really looked out for us, man. They bought it was wintertime, man. It was like freezing cold up here too. I'm talking about, man, they got us boots, you know what I'm saying? And whatever we needed, man. They paid us like $200 a week to go to the class, you know what I'm saying? Man, we was like, man, this can't, and they paying for us to get this CDL. Like, man, it was the best thing ever, man. Because it ended up, even though I worked for a couple of companies, it's some terrible companies out there, man. I say this clearly, man. U.S. Express was cheaper than a mug, even though they put you in hotels and they do all that. But the dude been there 30 years, who was my trainer. He told me, man, I say I'm just trying to make like 1,500 a week. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. He like 1,500. He said, man, you ain't gonna make 1,000 a week. He said, man, you'd be lucky to get you about 700. I say 700. I'm like, I quit. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not doing no 700, you know what I'm saying, a week. So I quit. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. So yeah, so it was like seven. I mean, what I got there, I was like, man, I don't know how we gonna do this. It was like 12 to 15 of us going through it, but only like all of us graduated, but only like 8 of them stayed in and still doing it to this day. You know what I'm saying? So actually, the other 4, uh, they still in it. They just not driving. You know what I'm saying? So they may be doing dispatching or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is doing dispatching or brokering, trying to make it work. Well, after working for several companies, I even went and worked with I call him my son-in-law. I went and worked with my son-in-law for like a month or so. It didn't turn out to be what I wanted it to be, but it was just with a car hauling. And then I was like, man, I got to get up out of here, man, because the probation department was on me real hard. So I had to get back to Ohio. And then I ain't understand it because they let me go get a job right out of town right after that. So I didn't understand that, but I went through it. Then it was like I kept quitting my jobs. I kept quitting even even the um even the truck driving jobs. I was like, I'm talking about I'm doing 2,500 every other week. Or every year. It's every other week, 2,500. I was like, man, it got me out of debt. It got everything done, but bro, it didn't pay. It didn't do nothing. Man, I was like, man, you know what? I quit. I paid for a dispatch course and a credit course. I had him 500 and I paid for their hold on, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry about that, bro. Um, yeah. Uh you're gonna be cutting this like, you're gonna edit this stuff, right?
No,
Or
I'm
this
just gonna let
live.
it roll through. I can edit it out, but it's not that big of a gap, so I'm just gonna let it roll through. It's all good.
Like I was saying, like some of that stuff I really didn't want to say, like, but all right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was just, it's all good. Like I just said that, I can get that out.
Okay. Got you. Got you.
But yeah, if you can, man, like especially when we talking about the case stuff, I ain't really with that part. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can figure it out the best way you can. You know what I'm saying? When I did the long gap of talking, that part, like get, bits and pieces of that. You don't need all that. I hope not.
Okay.
This was kind of me just talking to you for real.
Okay.
So, just giving you a better understanding. So I figure you can put it together the best way you can. I don't know. Whatever you do, bro. Anyway, yeah, it was like when I got the CDL, and actually I failed the test. I failed the test like twice. On the third time, bro, it was like if you fail it again, you gotta wait a year. And I failed it not because I'm talking about the driving part. You know what I'm saying? So I knew how to do the driving part, but I listened to the instructors. But when I got to the place to take it, I did a brain fart. Like I can't even remember what to do. And then like right afterwards, I locked in like it wasn't nothing. I did it as soon as I left. I did it like it wasn't nothing, and I couldn't understand why I was messing up. Yeah. But then I went in that last time and I knocked it out, man. And I got past it and got my CDL. It was the best thing could have happened. So then I went to doing the was it US Express. They whooped us. They was terrible. Then I went to the car hauling. Wound up having to go back to Ohio. Then I went and did another company, man. I worked with this one company, man, and like I said, they was doing 2,500 every other week. It was good enough to get the bills paid, but that really wasn't nothing at the end of the day. It's shocking to say 5,000 a month wasn't nothing, right? I mean, not 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But after taxes, it's less than 5,000. It was like 3. You know what I'm saying? Like 3,400 or something like that. So I ended up leaving them without a plan. I bought, like I said, what is it? What's the course I bought? The HIM 500 credit thing where I can learn how to do credit, fix, repair credit. Then I bought this Alex Good Energy. I bought the dispatching course. I started doing that, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna learn this. And then it was like, man, it was so much because he teach from an owner's perspective. Not that it's a bad course; it's a great course. If you really go through it, you will see it's great. But he taught from an owner's perspective, so I was getting the lesson, but I was getting it kind of distorted because everything was about ownership. You know what I'm saying? Because it's leading to the next course about ownership too, about owning a truck company. So I was like, oh man, I got to try to follow this. I got a short attention span that I felt like when it came to that. So I was like, damn, what do I do? And I talked to my sister, man, and I was like, man, I need to just go buy my own truck. I ain't gonna be able to do it, man, without buying my own truck. And my sister gave me a loan, you know what I'm saying? And bro, she gave me a loan, man, to go put the down payment on, man. And I went and did the down payment. And once I did the down payment, it was on. Hold on, man. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. So they gave me the loan, man, and I went and got my own truck. And bro, like in 110 days, man, I worked every day. I worked every day for like 110 days straight. And I was like, dang. And when I say they was paying good in the rail yards in Chicago, man, the rail yards pay good money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about some weeks. My best week was 11,000. My worst week was 4,000. You know what I'm saying? So a week. Wow. Okay. So I say that to say, and I don't even talk about money like that, but I you know what I'm saying, because the numbers is not. People start thinking they can rob you. Don't think that. You know what I mean? Whoever you are. But I'm just saying that I don't carry no money nowhere. I carry a card. And you can't get once you take 500 off of it, it lock up. Anyway, literally like bro, that whole thing was like, man, it saved me. You know what I'm saying? And it allowed me to learn about it. So now I give people dispatching advice on I'm teaching people how to be dispatchers. I'm teaching people how to drive the truck, to get comfortable in the truck before they even go get their CDL. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing each thing I can do, you know what I'm saying, to try to make it work, man. And my apologies for, the other stuff, but I literally try to make it where the it's so rough that, man, I just make it where I hold on, bro. Good Lord. All right, all right. So I was like, um, man, I jumped in my own truck as an owner operator, and I signed on to a company, and they get 30%. You know what I'm saying? They pay for the insurance, they pay for the plates, they pay for everything. They get 30%, and they show you the breakdown of everything they take out, was the plates, the insurance, and their percentage. So technically, you know what I'm saying? It's like 15% to the company, 15% to those things, like the plates and stuff, and insurance. So it literally like you destroying it, man. What I'm talking about, like if you make 5,000, you know what I'm saying? They don't show you what you make over the 5,000. Let's say like they don't show you their part, but you got to think of it. If you got paid 5,000, what was the number where they got 30% and you still got 5,000?
Right.
So then that's when you know what they made, if you look at it like that. So
Okay.
I had some great weeks, bro. And I left the rail yards, but I don't work the rail yards no more. I'm actually just all over the road. You know what I'm saying? I'm local, I'm all over the road, I'm everywhere. I do it all, whatever it takes. If I like the load, I take it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm driving a day cab. I'm not even driving a sleeper. So it's a mud. I suggested everybody go get a truck. Man, it's $800 billion business. It ain't gonna never be a shortage. When they start talking about it's a shortage in truck drivers, that's why they finna let 18-year-olds. But the thing is not that it's a shortage. The thing is they're about to start putting 18-year old people in a truck, because they're actually raising the price for people to get their CDL. If you're not in the class already getting your CDL after like this, I think it's like the next couple weeks coming up, then you can't get it like everybody else. You got to wait for you got to pay even more to get it, I should say. And they making it mandatory. They even finna work with the box trucks and make them get their CDL too. They finna tax everybody.
Let me ask you this: do you think that automated, like driverless technologies, going to impact the industry?
Huh?
Do you think, how you're talking about, they're going to have it where trucks drive themselves? That technology, do you think that's going to impact the business?
It's going to impact it, but not in the way that everybody thinks. Because one, only the huge companies will be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then even with them trucks, people talk stuff. Oh man, they ain't gonna be able to bag up, or they ain't gonna be able to do it. Whatever. If they got them going on the road, they know how to bag up too. Don't believe that. But that's a program that's 10 years or so down the line before it's actually out. Think about how much money it's gonna cost for one of those. They can't make it affordable. If they make it affordable, then hell, we can buy them. That's gonna be some things that they go at them companies that have millions and millions of dollars, and they got 2,000 trucks. We're gonna get an order for 2,000 of these trucks to switch out for those, and we're gonna run them manually from home. Then that's a whole nother thing. It's too much behind that for it to go out just in the door. There's gonna be a whole lot behind that. By that time, we probably all be done made a meal ticket and got out the way. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And it's like I try to tell people, I'm not even trying to get money like that. What I'm trying to do is I'm using the truck to get into it so I can do real estate. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally trying to get into real estate. I'm not trying to get $1 million out of trucks or nothing. And I only want the real estate so that I have an income coming in. My key is to make as much money as I can without doing as little as possible. Not being lazy, but just doing as little as possible. So if you can find a way to make money while you sleep, you won. So if I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing whatever I'm doing, if I'm doing real estate and I'm bringing in 4 incomes, meaning I got a 4 unit, you know what I'm saying? A 4 unit, you got to ask yourself, how much money do you need to make it? How much money do you need to have a comfortable life? You know what I'm saying? If one of those units pay for everything, as far as the place is concerned, one of them pay all your bills, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a place to live because one of the units yours, you know what I'm saying? So that killed the third one. Then you have a little money to do whatever you do with. You know what I'm saying? If that's just how I look at it. But now imagine if you can put somebody in your truck and do that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got incomes coming in all the way around the board.
Okay.
It's just ways to look at it, bro. I mean, it's different ways to look at it. I guess if I'm saying that right.
Oh, you definitely are. Well, man, brother, this has been very, very informative. I really enjoyed this. Now I'm looking forward for the autobiography to come out. Put that on your plate.
Well, actually, I wrote a book, bro, and I wound up destroying it because I felt like it was too much information in it. I thought about doing it again, man, because looking at 50 Cent doing all this old he doing great with all these different stories, and it's like I done live some of this stuff, not all of it, but I done live some of this stuff. And I ain't saying that it should be about me, but it could be a hell of a story just about the life I lived. You know what I'm saying? And
brother.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I say this to say, man, you have to respect these people who put themselves in these organizations and gangs and things, man, and they are able to deal with all of the other things that come with it, from this prison, from people talking, from people killing, from people. That's a hell of a life to live. I've been shot 5 different times, man, in both my feet, my side, my back, and my chin. So I've done over 21 years in prison, you know what I'm saying, somewhere, you know what I'm saying, in my life, you know what I'm saying, and I'm 48, you know what I'm saying. So you sit back and look at these dudes and be like, man, today these young boys, they out here doing what they doing. It ain't that they crazy. It's just that they ain't never had no leadership, man. You got to think about it. The generation of the people around my age, most of them was in jail in the 90s. Know what I'm saying? And then so the generation behind me didn't know much or nothing. So imagine if that generation start going to jail, then yeah, all right, yeah, thank you. So I'm sorry about that. Oh, so then they imagine the next generation who was going to jail. Before you know it, you looking at I'm 48, so let's say the 45-year-olds is going, and then let's say the 40-year-olds was going, and you know what I'm saying, and then you say the 35-year-olds is going, and the 30-year-olds is going. So when the 25-year-olds is looking at everybody going to jail, who they learning from? And I may have said the age is too early, so if you go back some, you mix it up the way I'm saying it. You say if the 30-year-olds and the 25-year-olds and the 20-year-olds go to jail, who the 15-year-olds looking up to? And then how the 15-year-olds gonna teach the 10-year-olds what they don't know. So when the 10-year-olds become the 20-year-olds, now the 30-year-olds is coming home and they looking at them, and they was 30, they 40 now, and they coming home while these dudes 20, and these dudes that's 20 ain't got no understanding because y'all wasn't here. Who was you? I'm not listening to you. How can you think I've been living and learning and doing things on my own? I'm finna come listen to you now. I've been out here for 10 years doing my own thing. So you just got to stay out their way. All right, you man, you know what? I'm not trying to force you to do nothing. But if you want to learn some things, I'm here to teach you. I can help you. You know what I'm saying? If you tell somebody you're here to help them, like I put life in its own different kind of perspective. Like, when you've been a part of tearing shit down for a long time, you got to spend just as much time, if not more, repairing it. So that's why I offer people, I'm willing to put you in my truck and teach you in the parking lot how to drive before you ever go to CDL school. That's why I'm trying to get people comfortable with it, because it's an income, you know what I'm saying, that's coming in. I teach people that you don't have to even have a CDL. You can go buy a truck, and don't believe me, it is not as hard as everybody think it is. You can go buy a truck, and the only thing you're going to need as a new person buying a truck is uh your tax returns from the last 2 years, 3 months of your bank statements, and a business EIN and LLC, and have a bank account for the business so that you can get them the 3 month statements. A statement, what is it called? A letter of intent from a company willing to hire you. These things are what you need to go buy a truck and have enough money to put down at least $4,000 on the truck at the truck company you buying it from, and at least 2 notes. If your notes $2,000, have $4,000 more. So you put $8,000 down. and then get you a 2-year warranty. And I'm talking about on an old truck, not a new truck, of course. You get you an older truck. I got a 2016. So, you get you an older truck, and man, you can go and put somebody else in the truck that got a CDL, and you don't never have to drive. So you put somebody else in the truck that got a CDL, get them hired on to a company, you know what I'm saying? And literally you hiring your truck onto the company, and they gonna get themselves hired on. And then you pay them a percentage, pay them 30% of everything that's on the load, or you pay them a certain amount per week. You know what I'm saying? That's a positive cash flow coming in that you ain't did nothing but bought a truck. You risk what? $8,000? You done made that back in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different ways that you can get on top. You know what I'm saying? You can blow up from doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then just think about it. If you buy that truck and then you do the dispatch course, or you teach yourself how to dispatch, now you double dipping. You can get a 10% fee for dispatching for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or you can have it included in whatever deal you made with the person that's driving for you. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of ways to make money in the trucking business. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, man, people, if you can be a broker, a dispatcher, or a driver, or you could just be an owner and let somebody else drive for you. Like right now, I'm looking to do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I want to drive my truck, right? On Wednesday, he gonna do a split shift though. And then the other dude gonna take over. He gonna do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I get two people. I get to get two people a job. I'm paying them $2,000 a week. So they working for 4 days and they getting $2,000 a piece. You understand? And then I'm still gonna be able to see at least what they see. So if they saw 2,000 a piece, I'm gonna see 4,000. So I done gave two people jobs and I get 4,000 a week and I'm at home.
Nice. Very nice.
So that's what I'm searching for right now to get on my plate. That's exactly what it's doing. So it's not about always finding something to do. Like I'm not hanging out in the hood. I've been to the hood. I've been to all the hoods, and I'm back doing me. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go down here. And I realized something, man, when I was down there. And I love the hood. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, shit, I can't get this time back. I'm not doing nothing that's positive just by standing here. I'm standing outside with everybody. What's this? Even when I go in the house and I'm looking around, I don't drink like that. You know what I'm saying? I do drink every blue moon. You know what I'm saying? I might have a drink. Now I'm saying, now don't let me not say I drink every blue moon. I don't smoke at all. So unless it's like what's that called? Hookah. I've been trying that lately. I was smoking cigars, but I quit that. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm naturally, I got a natural, I don't want to say high, but a natural happiness about myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to make it, bro. So I look at that like, man, I'm not into none of this nonsense. I'm literally trying to make it work. So if I can build something up that I can help other people and myself, and I say I can teach some of the people that I help get in a situation to where they acting crazy and young like this now, if I can help them get out of that situation by teaching them how to jump in this truck or the truck business, not necessarily the truck, then I feel like I did a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? Because I already done talked, like I got like 12 people doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if I can continue to get people to go do this truck thing and to do something that's gonna help their life, man, I'm doing good. Because if I help one person, I did my job. So I let alone I did 12 so far, and I'm trying to continue to get more. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I want to help everybody that I can, because if you keep going for the okie doke, meaning the drug game, and thinking that this is sweet, you're gonna fuck yourself over. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, seriously, bro. I'm sitting at my boy crib right now. You know what I'm saying? Off in another state at one of the guys that I went to school with for the CDL. We both got our CDL. We both got our own trucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm at his crib chilling. You know what I'm saying? Because we had some loads going out this way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I just left New Jersey, day before yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I've been all in New Jersey, Maryland. I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? That's what bro. It's and that's by choice. I could just do local. You know what I'm saying? I can go move to Florida right now and do local truck driving all day. Getting out of Florida with something, it ain't gonna make a lot of money, but in the state making it, you'll make a lot of money. So it's all about what you want to do with it, man. The truck game is the best thing ever if you're an owner operator.
Okay.
Working for other companies is, I don't know no company offering what I just said.
Mm.
To give you $2,000 a week and you only gonna work 4 days and you ain't got to do a lot of work, they not happening. It's not like that.
Okay.
For real. I'm picking loads that I'm knowing that it's gonna come out enough where both of us eat.
Mm.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
So
All right, brother. Well, I won't hold you any longer, man. This has been so informative. I know that people will get a lot out of this. So I wish you
I hope so,
continued much
bruh.
success. And
Thank
I'm
you, my
looking forward to
brother.
the book when it comes out. You know, I ain't gonna have to throw that out there again. You know.
I'm definitely. I've been thinking about it, and I know Arthur who asked me to write the book again, and they was
Okay.
like they actually was gonna buy me this recording thing where
Okay.
you talk it and it write it out like a book. So I'm like, oh
Oh, nice.
man,
Cool.
that's
Cool.
interesting. So I'm thinking about that, man. You know, she don't got to buy it. I'll buy it myself, but it was just that she told me about it. And I was like, oh
Right.
wow, that's
Right.
something.
Okay.
You know, but I hope this
Mhm.
helps somebody, man, some kind of way, man.
Oh, I
And
know it will.
man, and it wasn't anything said that was malicious or trying to hurt anybody in no form from me. I just want people to understand, man, that the past life is over with. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? There is no drug dealer, no gang chief, no none of that stuff. You know, yes, I
Mm.
have been proposed with gang titles in the days, and I have refused them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And some people still looked at me like I was somebody leader, and I wasn't. I
Mm.
always refused it, literally.
Mm.
And but I carry myself in the form of a leader,
Mm.
and that tends to get people to follow you. When you do
Right.
things, I don't want to do nothing that's gonna hurt you. But I'll be honest with you. If you do something to hurt me, then all the rules is off. All bets
Mm.
off the table. If I feel like you doing stuff to hurt me, your friends doing stuff to hurt me, I'm the same way. I can be very vindictive too. But at the same token, that life ain't gonna get us nowhere but dead, man. We already been to jail. So let's stay away from that, man. I'm trying to stay away from it. I'm just trying to live my life and do my thing. I ain't in nobody way. I ain't thinking about nobody. I'm literally living my life and being blessed, man. The Father has been good to me. You know what I
That's what's
mean?
up.
And that's how I kid, man.
Okay. All right. We're closing that note again. Thank you for your
Okay, my brother.
time, dude. I
Hey,
know
no
you all
problem,
enjoyed
bro.
this one. All right.